This is the Lessons Learned, No Guarantees podcast, where we talk about current events, parenting, marriage, relationships, feelings. Aw, that's cute. No topic too insignificant to discuss and speak with some of the best humans on the planet. They will keep it real and keep it moving.
Yo. This is the Lessons Learned, No Guarantees podcast, aka LL and G. Today on the panel, we have yours truly, Nasty Nassim. What up? We have Davey in the house.
Dímelo, mi gente.
We got my man Rory.
What happening, Dread?
My man Mark in the house.
Yep.
So what's up, guys? Today, on the topic of conversation, we are going to deal with the current state of events in America. BLM, Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives fucking matter.
Right.
And we are going to discuss how fucking America is treating Black people in general, minorities in general.
There you go.
Let's keep it moving.
Or does everybody just have a chip on their shoulders?
It's not really a chip, but it's been 400 years plus of somebody's knees on our neck.
Listen, sir. It may be a chip.
No, it's not true. It's not maybe. It's a truth.
No, it is. It's a guaranteed truth, man.
Just fact. I just was trying to be,
I know you're trying to break the tension or whatever, but it is a serious topic that does deserve a
voice.
Full, yeah.
So I think that we as a country, and when I say we as a country, that includes Black people, white people, Latinos, Hispanics, we are in a unique position at this point in time. I don't know if we made this abundantly clear, but I'm 42 years old. I'm part of Generation X. And when I was growing up, racism seemed to me like it was going to end when we grew up. It seemed to me like we were so integrated, at least being raised on the East Coast in an urban environment. Like, obviously, when I grew up, I realized that there's a lot of fucking country between the coasts. And that's where the majority of
the fuckery lies.
Thank you very much.
It's not even between the coasts, bro. It's even within the state. Like we're accustomed to city
Different
living,
parts
right?
of the state, yeah.
And then when you start driving out to get to another state, you realize how much country there is. You understand?
Yeah.
And you start seeing the Confederate flag. You start
saw one
seeing
today on my way over
burning crosses. And remember, Maryland is south of the Mason-Dixon line. It was actually part of the South.
Yes, sir.
And
facts.
Even though we view it now today in 2020 as being mid-Atlantic, it's still part of the South, right?
I'm not trying to put a lot of pressure on Maryland in general. I think Maryland's an awesome state. Like, Maryland does a lot for their residents and their people. And I feel like out of all the states I lived in quite a few, like, Maryland is probably one of the best states I lived in. But as far as the
shout out to MD.
Yeah, big up. As far as the overall picture, so recently I lived in Ohio, just to give you some context, and I bought a house. Where I bought this house, like, it was no Black people in my area at all. Like, no one owned the house. It was one family, African family owned the house, right? And I was so weirded out because, just like you mentioned earlier, and I wanted to,
When you say African family, you mean like an African family, not African American.
No, I mean, like, so
straight up African.
Yeah, no, they know which country they came from. So like, yeah, I hope you heard that animosity on my voice when I said that. Like, I don't know what country we come from. So that's a problem. But anyway, when I didn't cut my grass, the neighborhood committee or whatever, like, literally they sent the African guy to ask me to cut my grass. Yeah. Like, it was so weird.
You're
like,
one of them.
Yes.
You
could probably relate to this dude. Like, it was just weird to me. I felt like I went back in time because I felt like you felt. I felt like racism was going away. Because I grew up, I'm 1 year. I was born in 1979. So I'm from the same vein as you, where I saw improvements compared to what my mother and all these guys were saying, right?
And I thought it was going to be all good, man.
I never thought that.
No.
But I felt like it's getting better.
I didn't feel that way at all once Rodney King happened. I didn't. To tell you the truth,
I felt like that was anecdotal. Like that was,
So
you know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I keep hearing you guys saying about Maryland and, how things seem like they were going to get better. What exactly does that mean? What getting better? The racism part of it? Because to me, I feel as though
It was never a problem.
you can't take nature out of someone, right? So, I mean, you can't change people who they are and what they believe in. The only thing those people will probably change is maybe their acceptance and their behavior. But if that hasn't changed within themselves, then I don't feel like there isn't going to be any change. So what exactly are you guys referring to when you say things were going to change?
Personally, it had a lot to do with hip hop and urban culture, right? So when I saw Black music, Black culture, Black sports being integrated as such a huge part of the mainstream in the fucking 90s, I thought to myself personally and ignorantly, to be honest with you, I thought to myself, man, everybody is actually experiencing the culture. Everybody is actually going to take the time to get to know each other a little bit better. But no, what ended up happening, people appropriated culture. What ended up happening was people got entertained by the Black culture, by the Black athletes, and there wasn't that gelling that I thought was going to happen. There wasn't that a moment of, hey, we are going to understand each other on a human fucking level. That never ended up happening. What ended up happening was like, oh yeah, we like your culture. We're going to steal what we like from your culture.
For these reasons. Like, yo, we like this for this, but if you step out of line, yo, we gonna crush you.
And that fucking
Sammy Davis, Michael Jackson,
man.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Colin
The list goes
Kaepernick.
on. Colin Kaepernick, like,
I mean, the dude lost his job because of his peaceful protest.
exactly.
They took it and twisted it and said that he was kneeling in protest of the flag and troops. He was disrespecting the flag.
and now shit is burning down, and they wish they had fucking
Nah, so that's the point. So that's really what I
Right.
want to talk about.
It was prophetic, right? He was saying that, look, this is a systemic problem that is currently and will be a problem regardless of how long we go until we actually change. Right. And people thought change was going to happen. Right. But really and truly, it didn't happen. All it did was when the country voted and placed their first African-American president in office, the locks on the door started chinking. Right. They started burning effigies. Right.
kind of jiggling
Yeah,
open,
President.
right?
So
was
then
black.
we had 8 years of what we thought, Africans, African Americans, Blacks, Latinos, minorities. We thought we had some kind of normalcy.
Even
and we
Black
got
Latinos.
yeah.
We see y'all Black
Yeah.
Latinos out there, yo.
And we got complacent. And then all of a sudden the country went and they voted in, right, via electoral college. Let's be true about it. Caucasians took advantage of that, right, because we were ignorant to the fact. And they elected the worst person that they can put in there, right?
Well, do you think that was retaliation for Barack?
Yeah, so I think
No,
it was backlash.
It wasn't.
I
I don't
agree.
think it was retaliation. It
I
was
don't-
just that the Republicans wanted to get their person in, and they knew how to do it, right? Because the majority of the country thinks that majority votes get in the person into the president's office. It doesn't work that way.
But I don't think so hold on. Like, I don't think that's just it. I think Obama being the president and Obama
Yeah.
having a second term and Obama period,
Yes,
it lit a fucking fire
that's what
in
I
a
was trying to
whole
get to.
bunch of people
That's
that already been feeling
That's what I was
how
trying to
they
get to.
been feeling.
So once they got Trump in, right, they kicked the door open, right? The locks were already weakened.
But what I'm saying is, how did Trump get in? Because they had the fire under him already. Like, what the
But
fuck
I'm
is this
saying they
dude
took
up here?
advantage of
Like,
the
you didn't
electoral
remember
college.
when anytime he had a speech, like anything he did, and this guy
Yeah.
was basically he wasn't the fucking. I mean, sure, he's a black president, but he really wasn't the black president. Like, he was not pushing stunning reform for minorities, and he didn't do shit
because
for us, really, because he
look,
can't. Like, he's up against
exactly
so much. No, I get
No.
that. But what I'm saying, my point exactly is they were still so inflamed by him being there that there was such an
Yes.
uproar that you see who the fuck is in power.
Yes.
Mark has a
But-
wonderful point in the fact that Obama wasn't even that radical. When he says he wasn't really the black president, he means he wasn't even like a correct representation of
Of us.
He couldn't be visually.
Yeah, I understand that.
You understand? Because
But why? That's racism right there.
He was the most PC black president ever, and they still hated the fact that he was just black.
But what y'all didn't see was every so often he would throw a jab in.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that.
You understand
he's
what he
playing
could
the game.
do?
He is playing the game we play every day.
Yeah, he had to play the game, right? Because he was trying to work from the establishment out, right? And he wanted us. He was trying to get us to get involved. That's what his point of view was. And every so often when he tried to back us up, we all fall and failed miserably because not enough of us actually stepped up.
I don't think we all failed. I think that it was his job as the man with the highest office in the nation to energize us and speak directly to us. Like, you had that platform. If this is what you need us to do, say it. Stop beating around the bush. We don't need to fake, nigga. You got the top job. You the CEO, bruh. Tell me what the fuck you want me to do.
I agree, but I don't think you should put your whole
hopes on one person.
Yeah,
I agree. No, I agree completely.
You know, the change or, you know, whatever that meant for
reform,
right? For reform, right? Whatever that meant, it shouldn't have been based on the. Yes, the one of the problems is that people put a lot of hope
too much
into that. Oh, we have a black president. Maybe people will start accepting and blah blah blah. Again, that's not going to change someone's heart, right? So
this is America.
You know, it is what it is. So to me. You know, I don't know how we're going into this, but to me, I think the way we kind of make change, right? It's not expecting someone else to change, it's changing yourself. So this is a point that we were saying that earlier, right? So I think individually is the only way I could see this actually being an actual productive change. Rioting and all this stuff that we're doing, you know, now it works, right? In the sense of it's scaring people. For them not to do something, that's still not going to change their heart.
Fuck their heart,
right? Right? That's still not going to change who they are. It's still not going to make them like you. They're going to actually hate you more, and it's going to fear them more, which is going to probably you don't know what the reaction will be, right? So
let me interject here, right? Fuck their heart, and fuck if they like you or not. At this point in time, this fucking late in the game, it's about having a motherfucker respect you and not necessarily like you. Or want to be your fucking friend.
If that's the goal,
love you.
then
I think
works.
that's the fucking goal right now.
If that's the goal, that works. Yes.
That's a starting point. But at the same time, it's like you have to understand people are angry right now. And what do you do in anger?
Yeah, you lash out.
You lash out. So for 2 days, you know, we had the lashing out. Right?
Not even all of us. This was fucking white people out there lashing out.
I didn't say it was all of us. I was just saying you had people lashing out. They had to get it out, right? Yeah. That was progressive change. And you saw on the third day, the progressiveness came in.
To be fair, though, I think that it's very key that white people are out there fucking fighting with y'all.
Yeah. So like, let's not understate our white brethren that stand with us in the struggle for justice and equality, right? Like, they are coming to the front lines, facing, you know, being ridicule, ostracized by their own brothers and sisters, right? Like, so I appreciate that and I support that. But like, there's also people out there causing trouble, doing a lot of stuff, and it's not us. But like, if you watch how the media portrays everything, it's like that's all that's happening. That, you know, when 95% of the population is just protesting peacefully. It's like, oh, yo, they rioting. Why are they? And I'm looking at Facebook. I'm looking at all these things, and they calling people animals. Okay, you done had your knee on my neck for 400 motherfucking years.
I'd be a fucking
animal. Now I broke a
too.
window and took some clothes. Fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? It's been hard for me to get that. I don't care about your business. Fuck your business. You killing us. So I really don't care.
So to say about that is like, all right, if you want to break a window, go break the corporate windows. Right, go leave the mom and pop.
To me, a lot of those businesses were black. You know a lot of those businesses were Hispanic joints. I get that you're angry, right? So I can relate. When I get angry, I'll punch a fucking wall, right? I'll punch a wall. I'll break something,
but not your good wall.
The fact of the matter is, though, when I do break it, I fix it.
Yeah,
I have the ability to fix it, right? Sometimes, one of the times that I broke a wall, I broke a hand.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So again, I get all these normal reactions. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of the situation, white and black.
But wait a minute, though. I think that when black people go into their own neighborhoods and they loot a store and they break windows and they set a store on fire.
To me, that's bullshit.
Hold on a second. You just said you broke
You
your
fix
wall
it.
and you fixed it, right?
You don't
Those
think they
same
fix
black
it?
people have the ability
Yes.
and do
They fix it.
the same fucking businesses
Yes.
that they fucking
So
ruined
Atlantic
while
City
looting.
was
That's-
looted,
that's-
and then all Atlantic City people cleaned the city and fixed the city.
That's why.
And
I
it wasn't
said-
even people from Atlantic City that
The
did it.
people that were against the rioting did that. Now the people rioting.
I mean, so you
The people rioting,
So the people rioting is not fair to the rest of us, right? Because if I'm a fucking criminal and I'm just out here taking advantage of, I'm opportunistically
but
getting
that's the
dope.
way they're seen for.
I don't care how they
You see
see
what I'm
us.
saying?
White people do that too. Why are we
Exactly.
alienated for doing the
because
same thing?
we have the underhand.
But
Fuck
but
that.
you do
Like, that's
you do
racism.
understand that you do
That's
understand
literally
that-
the definition of racism.
No,
I think
Not
that
to me.
that Mark.
It's not different for them, but it's different for us.
no, I didn't.
We
say
have
that
to work
neither.
at a higher platform to be accepted the same way.
If you have the underhand, you kind of have to. That's the way you change.
That's
hands.
racism.
Wait a minute. Let's look at
No,
this.
no. I'm not saying change. I'm saying if you have to,
we have to do
Right.
better.
if you're born into already a disadvantage,
Right.
Mhm.
you can't change that.
Right.
Right. You
So
can't
we
change
have
it,
to
but-
do above and beyond to get to the same place.
It's just the nature of it right now.
yeah.
Right?
Hence-
But there's no, but you breaking windows and stuff. That's not going to change someone's mind to
Right.
say, "Oh, I'm gonna, you know what? Because I should be fair. I'm gonna make you." They already have a thing in place. Like, so how do we change it?
Let me-
by having them.
Let me interject here.
I agree.
Go
ahead.
So Davey's talking about, you do have to work at a higher level, right? Let me give you the perfect example. If Obama came into office being married to his third wife that he cheated on with a porn star
Mm-hmm.
with
Mhm.
multiple children, right? Like you think about the audacity of some people that are like, man, when they think about the black male and their representation in society, right? You have a black male that has multiple children with different
Mhm.
females, right? Now,
It's the hypocrisy.
who
for
the
them.
fuck came into the White House? You know what I'm saying? With those same
Traits.
quote unquote
Yeah.
traits that you try to put
And
upon,
you accept it.
and they, he's fine. The first lady of the United States did semi fucking nude photos.
Hypocrisy.
It's
And-
hypocrisy. Yeah, you know.
And I can remember in Obama's inauguration where people were fucking talking about how inappropriate Michelle Obama's dress was because it didn't have any sleeves. yo.
Yeah, and his middle name is Hussein or something. Like, get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
here,
yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
I'm not beat. So basically, Davey, I do respect what you're saying, and I know that's why we are where we are today,
Exactly.
because we went above and beyond to have the same damn job that the regular dude did to get the other guy got to be in the same job as me or do the same things as me. But like, what the issue is that's racist to start. Why do I have to do double the work to get the same shit as you?
Exactly.
It may be honorable, but it's still fucking racist. Like,
So-
I don't care.
So
like,
Davey's
No,
saying
I
the
get it,
system,
you
the
know.
system, it is the way it is. So try to work within
Yeah.
the system and do what you have to do to
to
circumvent
get ahead.
to get ahead. And what Mark is saying, which
We've been doing that for 400
I
years.
agree with Mark, is
Look.
fuck the system. The system is rigged. We want to totally disintegrate and collapse the fucking system and
You-
start over again.
We've been
But you
appeasing
won't-
this
You
system
won't be
for a
able
long
to do
time.
that. It's
But-
just what I'm saying.
but
You
there's-
just not. You just
I'll
can't
tell
do
you
that.
that
There's a way.
There are two ways.
So,
Nah,
so
yeah.
again, to me, this is the way I see it. Right, you got to get into this house, right? Right.
Mm-hmm,
So you have two ways. You either have the key,
or you can break the
you
glass.
or you don't. Right.
yeah.
You either kick the door down, right,
Mm-hmm,
or you can pick the lock.
mm-hmm.
Right. Which one you want to be? There's the kick the door side,
Look,
which I think
it
you guys
depends.
are taking. I want to be the pick the door, the lock kind of guy. That I'm saying. Again, everybody has different,
I feel
there's
you.
different ways of doing things. So right, and then there's a way of trying to get the key. So if you guys want to go with the kick the door down, that's a way.
I don't think we're
Right.
taking a kick the door down stance though. Like, I think what we saying is that we frustrated with picking this fucking lock all this time and getting spit on by the nigga behind the door. You understand?
Yeah.
So what we saying is like, we gonna
There's-
show you our power. We not even gonna crush you motherfuckers yet. Cause you all scared of us already. That's part of the problem, right? The fucking cops are scared of us.
But yeah, so let's go into that. Why are they scared?
Because they oppressed you so long. They know that you probably have some deep-seated, like,
Hey,
you could probably
Resentment.
fight back. We oppressed you and made you feel like you couldn't be
Okay.
this, but you were always physically
Let me.
stronger. or
I
you was this.
I
or
want to
that.
say this. I
You're
think
equal.
most
Sorry.
most white people And most Hispanic people, because much to my shame, fucking Hispanic people are fucking really racist against black people, yo. Let's not fucking sugarcoat it. This is why. This is my understanding of why these motherfuckers are scared. Number one, you look different. Number two, you look fitter than the other fucking race. You look more able to perform physically than the other fucking race. Number three, you have a fucking reason to be angry at other fucking races. And
I think that's the biggest key. You have a reason to be angry because
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, right? Like I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm
absolutely.
Really
Go
sorry,
ahead.
but like at the end of the day, we all share this similar genetics, right? Like so. As a white guy, a black guy, a Spanish, any guy, like we can physically train our bodies to be similar, right? You have a reason as a black male or as a black woman to have some sort of chip on your shoulder in America, right? Or to drive or to feel some kind of discrepancy to a certain degree,
True.
right? Because of the history of the place, right? So if you are the oppressor,
But why does this chip have to be negative?
Because that's what gets the point
No,
across.
no, and I don't mean to say in the history of it to be negative. I'm saying why do you have to take the negative approach of you acting negative, towards that history?
So,
I mean, because you can
know what I'm
feel
saying?
So anybody who always comes off negative is always trying to get a point across, and the only way for somebody to listen is always with negativity. It's never with positive. Right?
No, not true. But okay, go ahead.
It's true, bro. Anytime
that's your experience.
No, anytime somebody sees something, it's always negative. Negativity.
That's human nature, right? But that's what I say. We have to be the dominant person and say, human nature is right because people do this all the time.
But look at it right now. What drives ratings? What drives social media posts? It's always negative. The positive always gets outweighed by the negative.
Yes.
That's what makes people angry all the time.
That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right.
So that contradicts what you guys are saying, though. We have a negative
driving.
background, so we're going to act.
I'm not saying that.
That's just human nature, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that at all like that. Like,
it's not human nature,
just acting. I'm not saying that we're just acting out negatively because for
I
many years in
my...
I'm not saying that that's just to get their
I personally
point.
think you deserve to fucking act negatively and fuck.
I'm saying at times we do.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, really is that we don't get the freedom to express ourselves. We do not get the freedom to even voice what's happening to us or whatever. Like we are just expected to cut our fucking hair and look more white, make yourself more acceptable by these motherfuckers.
I don't understand your hair. Why does it have to be this way?
Like I don't get it. There's so many. I can do this all day telling you the unfair things I face in life, and I face many situations, right? But it's even hard to put into words because we have been trained by our parents, like I trained my kids, and like I'm
glad that you said that. Because
how to adopt?
Topic, how do you explain all this to your kids?
Right. So no, but let me just finish this thought. It's second nature to us to exist in their world, not to just exist. I want to just fucking exist and not feel anxious about if I'm moving right, if I'm looking too hard, if I'm scaring anybody.
That is the tragedy in this whole fucking situation. That's the tragedy right there. Right there, what you just said. The fact that you have to conform and you are not allowed to exist. You have to conform to exist in someone else's world.
I think that's why so many of us die, because the ones that don't conform, or when you don't conform in the moment, you are perceived to be a threat. And I was taught that very young on how to behave around the cops.
You're absolutely
and
right.
that is normal teaching in black people
You're 100%
houses.
right.
That's true.
That is true.
That's true.
That is true.
So
the thing about
white
it
people
is,
don't
though,
teach that to their kids.
Of course not.
They should.
They have the privilege not
they
to.
should. Why? They don't
should
kill
teach
their kids. They don't never teach their kids that shit. Because the white people kids just get mad and be like, why are you pulling me over? And then they go. Like, I do that, I get shot.
It goes back to they have the privilege.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Yeah. I mean, that's privilege.
I have the privilege to lip off to a fucking
You guys
cop.
don't get it, right? So I'm like y'all. Like I said,
I get it, but
you guys, none of y'all again lived in my skin, so y'all can't. I just have a different perspective as y'all.
Yeah,
again, tell me my whole perspective. Hey, do something about it. Don't bust down the window. Do something about it. Change yourself within. Right. Again, to me, my opinion is the cops. Yes, they're scared of people, Hispanic or black. Right. Because this goes all this goes across the board
but
with
mostly
minorities.
of black people.
I mean, that's how it's that's how it's perceived.
But they ain't scared of y'all too.
That is how it's
not the way they're scared of y'all.
I get that, but like y'all second on the list. Y'all
yeah,
right
we
behind
are.
us.
Yeah,
No.
we are.
It's just that it's not put out there. Again, you got stuff to understand.
And if you're literally a black Spanish, you're just black.
Yeah, you're black.
You ain't Spanish no more.
They
nigga,
treat
like
you the
that
same.
second.
Shout out
you
to
ain't
my
never looked at
shout
the
out
list?
to my Dominicans.
Have
my
you ever looked at the
Dominicans?
forms that y'all fill out in all these things?
Yeah.
It says if you're African American, white, or this or that. That's your first choice.
I always
Your
take
second
other.
choice is if you're from a Spanish country.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you're from the Dominican Republic. You black, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck outta
I always
here.
put other in that.
On the other side of that coin, nobody gives a fuck that I'm from the Dominican Republic. I'm white,
Yeah, you way
Yeah.
too light. You way
and
too
I
light.
turn red when I drink too much.
Yeah.
Right.
You got the Asian glow going on.
No, but
Yeah,
honestly, honest to God, like just to get back on point, like I really understand where Davey's coming from. With we control our actions, we control how we perceive a moment, we control what we do next.
Or at least
But
try
everybody is not us.
Right.
Everybody's not you and me. So we may have made it out of circumstances, but I know like 9 out of 10 of
People-
my friends that are smarter than me, that didn't have the break I had, or didn't have the honor I had, or the opportunity I had, that are not here, that deserve to be here far more than me. Right? I'm not saying none of these boys are wild boys. Like the circumstance, like what the fuck you supposed to do to survive, bro? Like nobody
So-
is giving you the same opportunities that these guys got. So I really hate when somebody tells me like, yo, well, my family came to this country 30 years ago and my grandfather started business from the bones. I mean, fuck you. Like, I really don't care. Like, I really hate you for even saying that to me.
That's cool. But again, that does not fix the problem. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what fixed the problem? Let's talk about what fixed
That's
the problem.
exactly what I want to get at with everyone. It's like, look, I understand that, black people are at a disadvantage. Hispanic people are at a disadvantage. We get pulled over, we're already at a disadvantage. All I'm saying is, and I go through all the same things. All I'm saying is approach things with a different mindset.
With a fixing mindset.
I get where you're coming from.
With understanding,
solutions.
with understanding that the person in the other end of the room or the other end of that gun has a particular way of who he is, right, or history, or already a perception of you,
Just like you, biases.
right? He has already a perception. So then I need to get out of this situation, right? The
To
best
be
way I
alive to
can.
make the next day.
The best way I can, right? Understand nature, like Rory was saying, negativity. Understand the negativity. Understand the bias. Understand the racist and all this stuff, and then know how to pick that lock to come out of the situation, right? And I'm not just talking about getting pulled over. I'm talking about in life and period now, right? If you generalize the
Just
whole
everything,
thing,
work,
understand
everything.
the whole thing,
Yeah.
right? Because like I've been in this situation. That's why I got out of the army. Like I just completely walked out the motherfucker, right? Because of shit like this. And I pulled up my lieutenant side to side, and I say, "Yo, take this uniform off, and I'm a dude just like you. I'm a man just like you. If you take this uniform off, we can go scrap in the yard right now if you want, right? Fuck what you gotta say. Take this rank off. That don't mean nothing. You gotta respect me as a man first." Right? Before you do anything. So that was my approach.
Imagine if your lieutenant had a fucking gun drawn at you and didn't give you the chance to fucking express yourself and say, hey, man, I'm a man too.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? That's what these cops are doing to
It's
every
not even
fucking
just the
black
cops,
person
it's
that they
society,
fucking...
American society in
exactly,
general.
Exactly.
Yeah. So look at it as Ahmaud Arbery, right? He was shot
come
3
on,
times by 2 white guys,
And they
right?
literally get off
and
with that
one
shit.
one white
One
guy
right words.
recording the entire thing, and he didn't step in.
I didn't
right?
say that was
They
right
didn't
or
even
wrong.
arrest them for
So
3
this
months.
is so again to me. Okay, so this is how I see things. Again, it's just understanding what's going on and the nature of people, right? So to cops, right? Black people, right? And this is not me talking. This is the observation of white people and white cops, right? And this is where you have to do the numbers, right? To them, they see black people on a 90% of the times when it comes down to crime. To them. So they, in their mind, they get mad, tired, and fucking whatever the case, right? Yo, why the fuck every time I have a call of a disturbance or a robbery or whatever, it's a black person, right?
So
or
look
in a
at the
black
statistics.
neighborhood.
Do you think black people could commit that percentage of crimes at the same rate that they're arrested?
Wait. So
So what I'm saying is, again,
most
I'm just
domestic
use
violence calls are for white people. Just so you
domestic
know.
violence.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But that's domestic violence, right?
Okay. So again,
I get where you're going.
You guys need to understand is that you have to understand their mentality.
Yo, I
all right, guys, I'm going to stop you guys. I think I know what Davey's talking about, right? So let's say I'm a cop, and I'm gonna use different examples so that you guys can all follow me. Mm-hmm. Let's say I'm a cop in a neighborhood, and every single time I get a call that somebody is throwing trash on the street and is littering, and I go, about 80 to 90% of the time, it's a Hispanic person that probably came from a third world country where they didn't have fucking trash cans at the end of every corner. So he's used to just tossing his fucking trash, right? Every single time. And I'm getting fucking sick of this. Every time I get a call about somebody, you know what I'm saying, throwing trash, is a Hispanic person. So I go to the park and I see 4 Hispanic people. They got their radio. They got their salsa music going. They have like a picnic going with food and drinks and stuff.
And a whole lot of potential trash.
And then I look over to the right, about 50 yards away from where they're chilling, and there is a ton of fucking trash. Now, what Davey is saying is that human nature is going to say, oh, well, 2 and 2 equals 4. 90% of my fucking calls about trash involve Hispanics. These Hispanics in this fucking park must have been the ones that put all that fucking trash over there, even though the trash is nowhere near where they're chilling. What I want my brother to understand is if you're a fucking police officer and you are a professional, right? I don't give a fuck what your personal feelings are or what your personal experiences are. You are supposed to go to that park and not make a rash judgment or decision based on your past experiences.
Absolutely.
You cannot.
That's the key.
You cannot fucking go and be like, because you're black and you look just like that dude that robbed the convenience store that almost shot me last week, I am going to fucking manhandle you and take it out on you. And that's what the fuck these coward ass cops do.
Can I go a step further?
Yes, and that's the bullshit. Right?
Go ahead, Mark.
So I want to go a step further. So like maybe they did throw the trash out there, the Spanish guys or whatever, right?
Maybe they did.
So, but if you only are policing the Spanish neighborhood, where you made this neighborhood accessible for them to buy houses, only this neighborhood, like they can't really buy that shit nowhere else. Like they all right here. It's all El Salvadorians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and whatever you have, right? They all stuck in this one place, and they throw trash out because back in their home country, that's what they did, and somebody cleaned it up. So anyway,
the neighborhood isn't providing them with trash cans.
Yeah, no, that was my next question. So where's the fucking trash cans? Oh, they on that corner, they way down there, and they way down there. But nobody ever even instructed or taught them how to, like, this is what we do over here, blah, 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 blah. But you made it criminal for them to do what they do. And like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck y'all.
So I get it. Exactly. I feel the same way. So again, my approach would be, right? This is why I say change within. My approach would have been, let me just throw this trash here because that's fucked up. They didn't provide me a trash can. They provided the white neighborhood a trash can. Let me go fucking bring a trash can.
But you know that.
Yeah, but
they don't know that.
They weren't taught those rules. That's what
I'm saying. They don't know that. You can't assume everybody is us. That's my point.
I feel like we've gotten our fucking knees in our necks long enough to know that there's certain things that you shouldn't do already, right?
You gotta be
whether you want to blame it on
you can't run no more. You get shot like the white boy do the same thing as you. You don't get the same treatment.
What I do know,
like at a certain point, I feel like, okay, so I've been singing your tune all these years of my life up until like my 30s before I like, all right, man, I ain't doing what you niggas say no more, right? Like, yeah, I've been doing it to get ahead, right? And it got me ahead. But like what I feel like at this point is that you got to let it go, right? Like at a certain point, we can't keep bending to this.
Mark just brought...
So let's stay your perspective. So you feel like your success and the things you've gotten today has hurt you?
No. Hold on.
He didn't say that at all.
Hold on. I think what Mark is saying, and it's a very fucking valid point. He has changed the way he is. He has accommodated the norm or the white standard so that he could get to the place that he is in life right now. But guess what?
I have a problem with that.
No. Hold on. No. I'm going to cut you off.
Go ahead. I'm going to tell you when you finish.
I think that his problem is that after all that conforming, after all that changing, after all that,
Still a nigga.
not only is he still the N-word, but there is no higher place for him to go unless he goes on his own. Under the company that he's in, I think that he has gone as far as they will allow him to go, no matter how white he acts.
Everybody has the same opportunities.
Not everybody.
You
cannot generalize
couldn't
that
disagree
statement.
with you more.
You cannot
In
generalize
theory,
that statement.
We
Not
have
at all. Not at
we
all.
have the same. What I'm saying is we
What,
have the
based
same
off of the
amount
law?
of drive, right? Ourselves. When I say opportunity, I mean you have the opportunity to do what needs to be done. I don't give a shit if you're at a disadvantage or at advantage. You should do what needs to be done. You know
Hold
what
on,
I'm saying?
I don't want you to think for 1 second like I'm saying what I'm saying as a cop out. Like I can't do more. Like I could do a lot more if we create our own shit.
Why should
I'm
he
talking
have
about
to?
within
So why
their
don't we?
work. No,
so
stop,
why don't
stop,
we?
stop,
Why
stop
don't
for
we
a
become
second.
more cops? Why are
Okay.
we more cops?
You
Why-
should pause.
Hold
You
on.
should pause because, like,
You know what I'm saying?
what I'm saying is, like, before we even create ourselves, before they create their shit, they work to certain levels within the organizations they learned their lessons in, right? Like, yeah, we don't have them same opportunities in these levels. Like, even if you have access,
We have to do
certain
that for
things,
ourselves.
okay, so you don't get the
We have to
picture.
create our
So-
own leaders.
So the
Our
point that I'm
own
making,
actions, you know what I'm saying?
I get where you coming from. We have to have so Davey is not wrong in the slightest, right? His point is that we have to have an unrelenting drive to make it through the shit and the circumstances that is America.
Not
That's-
necessarily.
I mean,
'cause
you
that
don't know
sounds-
you saying
that
it, but
sounds-
that's true.
No, but
Yeah.
it sounds like you doing it as like you don't have a way to not do it, right? So my thing is just understanding the facts.
So you think everybody could be super successful and like, yo, there should be no poor black or Spanish or brown people because all the opportunity exists for everybody. Everybody that don't get it, they lazy.
In a way.
That's fucked up.
In a way.
Okay,
That's fucked up,
Davey, I couldn't disagree with you more.
Exactly.
That's
I-
fucked up.
So again, to me, it could be fucked up because that's your perception. So,
I mean, no, I'm just trying to explain to you because so much of what we have in front of us, so much of what, like us meeting, us having this opportunity is based on opportunities, based on who you know, based on who brought you to the table, based on all that.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
So
That's
no,
what I
it
mean.
boils down to the nigga living in the hood. He may never met the nigga that you and I met. Like,
But
he didn't have
that's
to
why
live over
that's
there.
why we should, again, you made it, right? You made it to a higher level than most black people do.
And pull
So
somebody
why
up.
don't we go to the hood
We
and make
do.
it just like the white people started doing?
Did my
We
nephew
can do
not
that
live with
now.
me? Did
So-
my
but
did-
at
So,
the
how
same
many,
that, so
time-
that's
how many
what I
people
mean.
did live with
so
you?
that's
in
what I
there?
mean. You know what happens? This is not just about white people.
Nah,
I'm not sucking their dick.
in
So
general.
listen to me. I just listen to everybody's system and their disadvantages. So this is what I learned by watching, right? White people teach their kids certain things, right? They teach them, you go to school,
Yeah.
you save this amount of money, and they teach them a certain way. What does our people teach us?
Only what they fucking know.
Exactly. So whose responsibility is this? Is the white people or is it your own people to do that?
Hold
now
on.
that you made it,
How
right?
you going to
'Cause it's
ask?
always
No,
somebody that
hold
made
on.
Wait, wait.
How you going to ask your oppressor? The
No, you-
motherfucker
no, no,
that
no.
owned you. No, wait.
That's what I'm
Pause.
saying. Is how you gonna
Pause,
ask your
pause.
oppressor
Let
to
me-
give you
let me finish the statement.
comfort?
Let me
You
finish
gotta
the
go to
statement.
the black people. Be like,
Okay.
yo, what you need to know what to do about this situation?
How
What
many-
you need to know how to create a bank account and how to become independent
So
financially
do you
like the
think
white people do?
all successful black people are selfish and they don't try to pass it back? Like how much
Why aren't they doing it? What I'm saying
are
is
they not?
that's how you
Are
create
they
change.
not?
I'm
Are
gonna
they
tell-
not though?
Right?
Like-
and you're going to want to have to
Look,
take that
so-
fucking change,
So
right?
the
You can't be that kid in the class.
Successful black people to the percentage of successful or white people that are already at that level is so drastically different that it doesn't make a difference that you can see. That's
Remember-
the point. That's America.
Listen, so remember, not everybody has your point of view, right? Raising up one as you come up, right?
I agree with him though.
Not everybody has that point of view, right? But at the same time, black people can only learn what was taught to them. That's how it's always been, right? And now that we're
So
asking,
how do you explain that with
but
white
let
people?
me finish.
White people can
Let me-
only do how they were taught to
let
do
me
too.
finish.
Racism
but-
is born in the
Davey,
house.
you're
That's what I'm
cutting
trying to
people
say.
off.
Yeah,
You gotta chill.
let me finish on that.
I just want you
finish.
to look at things from both sides.
I am. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
But you're not letting me finish on that topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
So
My bad.
So Black people can only focus on what they were taught, right? And they don't know any better than beyond that circle, right? White people know what they were taught because, like you said, that's how they teach their kid, right? And beyond that circle, they're selfish because they're not gonna expand beyond that. They're like, no, you're not part of my group. You're not part of my race. I don't even want you succeeding. Nothing. I'm gonna put my fucking knee on your neck and I'm gonna hold you down, right? But there
Even
is
though I'm gonna pretend like I'm letting you come up with me.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do secret behind the door things that will always keep you down.
Yeah.
And this is the type of shit that goes on all the fucking time.
Yeah. So it's systemic in a situation. It's a circle. It's the snake eating its own fucking tail every single time.
All right. I want to pause for a second. This is gonna take 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but I want to show my brother a video, and I want him to watch the video and tell me what he thinks at the end of the video.
Before I say go, I'm going to make a couple statements. If those statements apply to you, I want you to take 2 steps forward. If those statements don't apply to you, I want you to stay right where you're at. Take 2 steps forward if both of your parents are still married. Take 2 steps forward if you grew up with a father figure in the home. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private education. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a free tutor growing up. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to worry about your cell phone being shut off. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to help mom or dad with the bills. Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability, you don't have to pay for college. Take 2 steps forward if you never wondered where your next meal was going to come from. I want you guys up here in the front just to turn around and look. Every statement I've made has nothing to do with anything any of you have done. Has nothing to do with decisions you've made. Everything I have said has nothing to do with what you've done. We all know these people up here have a better opportunity to win this $100. Does that mean these people back here can't race? No. We would be foolish to not realize we've been given more opportunity. We don't want to recognize that we've been given a head start. But the reality is we have. Now, there's no excuse. They still got to run their race. You still got to run your race. But whoever wins this $100, I think it'd be extremely foolish of you not to utilize that and learn more about somebody else's story. Because the reality is, if this was a fair race and everybody was back on that line, I guarantee you some of these black dudes would smoke all of you. And it's only because you have this big of a head start that you're possibly going to win this race called life.
Absolutely. So let me tell you what I think. And again, to my point earlier, right? This is exactly what I'm saying about we're already at a disadvantage, right? Did I not say that? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What we're fighting for is to change the system into everybody having the fair. That is where you're wrong. You can fucking change the system.
You cannot.
By violence.
No, you cannot.
No,
that is what
not
I'm
by
saying.
violence, bro.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not supporting violence.
So let me tell you this.
Every time the world has changed, it has come out of violence.
Look, bro, I'm not gonna support any kind of violence.
No,
so let me finish my thought. He said, let me see the video. That happens. Okay, it's okay. He has his right to say that. So let me finish what he said. What do I think? Right. So again, listen to the questions that were asked. Right. Mm-hmm. Go ahead if you had a father figure in your home. Right. Go ahead if you were worried about your phone getting cut off. Every single question that man asked, none were influenced by an outside source. None.
What does that mean? I'm sorry.
What that means is it starts with us. Okay,
Like, yo,
our family, our parents broke up. Our parents decided to, do whatever the case because of the culture. They didn't have enough money. They're not uneducated. That's all starts with us. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying it's just how
that shit
it
don't
is.
start
Hold on,
with
hold
us,
on, hold on. I
It's
gotta
just
answer
what
this.
it is. I'm
Yo,
like,
they
okay,
fucking broke up, or your parents is
I'm
going
supposed to
because
be
of,
mad at
because
the
of
next
drugs.
because he
Nah,
has more and I'm going to break his windows because he's more fucking
Yo,
advanced
hold on,
than
hold
I
on.
am.
You mixing up a lot of topics.
I am.
No, but
You mixing up a
Hold
lot.
on.
You mixing up a lot of topics.
I'm going to be mad at you because you got more than me.
All right, guys, stop.
Red chair.
Everybody
Red
stop.
chair.
Everybody stop. Davey,
I respect. the
you
red
have to look at the bigger picture, right?
That's what I'm telling y'all to do.
Hold on.
Why you yelling?
Hold
yo?
on. Shh. Everybody stop.
You
Everybody
the
stop.
moderator.
So I'm the moderator. Let me moderate. Let me fucking moderate. So let's use you and my situation as an example, right? When you're looking at the big picture, right? You say, oh, there is no outside influence, right? Check this out.
I want to talk.
One of the main reasons that my mom and your dad broke up, one of the main reasons our parents broke up was because of the pressure being put on them by my family. Because why?
Because my dad was black.
Because Papi is black.
This is why
Hold
I want
on.
you guys to listen.
So
to,
what I want to tell you,
I sympathize
so
with
what I
everything
want to
you're saying.
tell you is that that pressure was being put because why? Because of hundreds of fucking years of people telling you that having a black person in the fucking family is some sort of fucking bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a marriage, a family was broken up because of racism, and we didn't fucking even realize it. You know how much fucking thought I had to put in?
You had to do
Yeah,
with your
right.
situation.
So
Racism had everything to do with our family breaking up.
And
And because we are strong,
You made it
me
out.
and you remained fucking family. We still to this fucking day love each other. That is a fucking miracle. That is the exception.
That's a testament
that is
to
not
you.
the fucking norm.
Absolutely. So that is my whole point, guys. Is why can't we do like me and Nassim did?
Because
because the world is not a cookie fucking cutter.
And
All
it
right,
wasn't-
then,
you
so
understand?
then let's look at the system and find out how you can play the system in a way that you could that works for you, and then still be who you are.
You just tapped on it.
Yo, you
right?
How
just-
can it
So
be
again-
best done for you? Right? It's
And
like
it's
I said, it's
different
not
for
a cookie
everybody.
cutter. It doesn't work for everybody.
Exactly.
Right? But at the same time, you can't just look at it. Every coin has two fucking sides.
that's
You
a
cannot just look
blanket.
at it at one point of fucking view. Right? You have to look at both point of views.
and you have
in
to
order
be
for you to
sympathetic with every point of view. You not only
You have to
do you have to be
empathize. Yeah.
not
That's
only
what
do
I'm doing.
Not only do you have to be like, you know what? I fucking made it. I was strong enough. Why can't everybody be fucking
Yes.
strong enough like me? You have to look at the other side and be like, damn,
Yo.
not everybody has the fucking intestinal fortitude
or
that
they
I
didn't have the no.
I
So I don't
agree.
even
So
give myself
this
that
is
much.
the whole-
I don't want to ever put myself above anybody else. So I just feel like my unique circumstances gave me wherewithal to see a
Right.
path at that moment, right? But like what you said earlier really struck me though, because as you're my best friend, like I really respect the things you say and everything, but like
How far
It's-
apart are you guys on this fucking subject?
it's so
No.
crazy
It's
to
not
me.
far
Nah, like
apart.
no,
Like,
it's not far
I
apart.
agree with everything he's saying. It's just I want
No,
different views.
I understand what he is saying.
Yeah.
I really
I
agree with you.
respect it.
So I just really got to say this. Like, I really came home from jail, got a job, found some success after like being completely at my bottom, right? Found success, became an adult, all these things. And then I went home and I really started preaching this message to all these guys that I knew were smarter or whatever than me. And like, I did not realize until how cocky or whatever, how it sounds, even though I wasn't trying to come across that way.
Right.
Right? Because I'm literally pushing my experience on them like, yo, it's easy. Just do this. Right?
So I don't mean to cut you off, but I sent this picture and this quote. And the biggest communication problem is we don't listen to understand. we listen to always fucking reply.
Wait our turn to reply.
Yeah.
You understand?
I agree.
And nobody is ever fucking listening to understand.
Nah, but
that's
I think
the biggest problem.
right now we are listening to each other, and I think it's important that you hear this just to hear the other side, like, because I once felt that way. Right? Completely that way. But like what I just want to wrap up here is every situation is unique. And like the video that Nas shared, we as a community, as a people, we starting from behind already, right?
Yep.
Two,
Way
like
behind.
they want to say like black on black crime or minority on minority crime and all that. But like whatever crime do you have if that's all you have in this community and this is where you put us in, it's all we can afford, blah, blah, blah. We're in this country. I didn't choose to come here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is circumstances I'm in. I mean, these are all situations that I didn't choose to be in.
Right.
My dad lived 1 block away from me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could have had a dad. He could have been available. He's available now. He's a good guy. But like, what I'm trying to explain to you is I still thought I had a great childhood. I thought I was privileged compared to a lot of kids I grew up with. I thought we was good, right?
Mark made a very good point. I mean, it's like the people who invented the game, they set the game against you.
For you to fail.
And then they're like, listen, a couple of you overcame our cheating ways and actually succeeded. So why can't you do it too?
That's a fact.
And
we
I'm
do
like,
that shit to each other now.
I
hate that.
I can see that.
And I'm like, you know what? We should stop the game from being rigged.
Yes.
And that is what this fucking movement, in my opinion, is about. It's not about who had the fucking intestinal fortitude.
Who won
to
first.
overcome.
You like that word, don't you?
To intestinal fortitude. You know, I learned that from Jim Ross. Shout out to Jim Ross from WWE.
So how do we get there, right? So this happens. Cool. So how
do we do next?
get... Yeah, so what do we, how we did to the point where everything is equal? What needs to happen on the black community and on the white side of things that rigged this game? What needs to happen on both ends?
We reach one, we teach one.
So we reach one, we teach one, guys.
Who teach who? Who reach who?
We as the black community need to rise up and condone the violence and try to reach one white person to understand where we're coming from. That way it starts to spread.
We definitely got into a fight in the backyard.
A verbal fight.
Beat that.
We got to a fight behind the back. I mean, and it's all love, right? Because we literally all family and
yes, we are
family here.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we all love each other. And we all want to affect change.
We're all brothers.
Absolutely.
We all want to affect change, but we definitely have different points of view.
It's not always a peaceful protest.
Never.
It's like Thanksgiving at a fucking black family's house.
Right? Just a regular Sunday.
You got that one uncle that's fucked up.
Hey,
why you gotta talk about me?
That mac and cheese be hitting, man. I tell you that.
Don't make me hungry now.
So is that prejudice or racist?
That's a stereotype.
Okay, see, I'm always wrong.
Yeah, stereotypical things are different from racist things and are different from prejudice things.
I'm not getting involved in this conversation.
All right, so I think that in closing, everybody does agree that change needs to happen. Change needs to take effect. We are all pro change. Shit needs to change. We don't always agree on how it should change. I personally have a very unpopular opinion about
tanks and missiles.
We don't condone violence.
About how change should go about. And I keep telling these people that nothing in history ever has really changed without bloodshed. But like I said,
we don't condone violence.
This is a very unpopular opinion, and my fellow podcasters do not agree with me. And I'm a little off the wall sometime, and that's fine.
We still love you, bro.
Boom.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Even crazy motherfuckers need love. We need affection, and we need to,
Whore.
Boom.
So in conclusion, guys, I want each and every one of you to possibly give me a final statement. Now, what this means is that when you are talking, I'm going to give you 1 to 2 minutes to say your piece. So try to make it as concise and as possible. And when you do go over it, I'm going to tell you that you're going over it. I'll probably give you like another 5 or 10 seconds to wrap it up, and that's it. There is no objecting. There is no of the other person, trying to argue with this other person's point. This is a final statement, and it is going to be given by each and every one of us. And who wants to go first? If you guys are still forming your opinions, I will volunteer to go first. But anybody else wants to? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go first.
Go for it.
So, 6:20. All right. So, my conclusion and my final statement is there have been wrongs committed against the black race in this country for over 400 years. And these wrongs have been violent. They haven't been civil. They have been everything but orderly and civil and conducive to law and order. So when you tell me that people looting and people breaking windows is somehow wrong, I laugh. I laugh at it. I think it's fucking funny. You think that a couple of fucking broken windows and some spray paint and some fires equals to the amount of human suffering that has taken place in this fucking country for 400 years. To be honest with you, I don't know, man. I was born the way I was born for a reason, because I would fucking go nuts if I was a little bit fucking closer to the problem. I feel very close to the problem, but if I was closer, oh man, I wouldn't help the cause. I'll tell you that much. That is my ending statement. And I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. And I got 3 of my fellow podcasters that are ready with their opinion. Thank you very much for not interrupting and being very respectful, even though, we have different opinions. Who's next?
So, so I want to go ahead and put in my 2 cents into how we can start change, right? So that's what the final thought is. I think that's the one thing that we all want to accomplish, right? Is really, how can we move on from here? How can we all, make this situation what we all want it to be, right? So, my personal perspective in thing is to first start with individual change. Each individual should do their own best and be the best they could be, regardless. And again, I say this with personal experience and feelings, regardless of your own disadvantage. Try to be the best person you could be. Bypass the disadvantages that you were born with, that you were given, and focus on the things that you could change in with what you have, until we can all figure out a way, right? Because not one person can make a change, until we all can figure out a bigger way onto how to change the whole situation. But first start with yourself. And also, again, look at every perspective, look at the bigger picture, understand that you cannot change the mentality of other people. So in this situation, I think that's what kind of triggers some of the, the violence and some of the protesting, which that's completely fine. Sometimes, like my brother said, that is the one way that you can get someone's attention to make them understand. And I'm all agreeing with that. I do disagree with some of the destruction of it, because obviously there are some innocent people that are not part of this that could have been minorities just like us, that probably are being affected by this, involved in the wrong end. We'll call that collateral damage. That's your way of God giving you a way to make a difference by maybe your business being destructed, right? So again, to me, make yourself accountable and be the best you could be.
All right, thanks, Davey. Next, my man Mark.
All right, when I think about this situation, I'm first of all, I'm grateful to be an American. Like when I think about Syria or Rwanda, or for that matter, Yugoslavia, they had a functioning government one day, and then the next day it was nothing like what you saw the day before. And so when I see these kind of things happen, I think of those things, and I think we all should take heed to these lessons, in that our freedom is not free, right? All of this stuff hangs delicately on a thread, right? I would say Americans in general, all of us, white, black, whatever your colors, Hispanic, everything, we should take this as a catalyst of change, right? Like and actually try to take this moment as a positive and react and make a difference. You hear people in distress and they're going through something, right? And obviously it hasn't changed. You heard from our heated argument there before. And while as an individual, you can do the best you can to try to stay positive and do the right thing, it's very difficult to make a positive change for a group of people unless the whole society sees that. And I think we should just be cognizant of that and be grateful for what we have. And America should recognize that before it becomes too late.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Roy, your 2 cents.
So we've just been discussing racism in America. And these are my final thoughts and the lessons that I've learned. There are no guarantees on this. This is just our thoughts. What have we learned basically? Racism in America is not dead. It hasn't been dead. It's always been alive. It may have been dormant, and it's just rearing its ugly head once again. A brief history on racism. It has started in America when the Dutch basically brought over 20 slaves to basically work their land, I think back in 1619. And from there, through the years and the decades that we go through, we have gotten comfortable every single time that the flame has been lit in us. And that needs to probably stop and end today. Our hopes and praises are that it does, but it most likely won't. We need to learn to continue the fight every single time because we are targeted, whether it's us being pulled over by the police, whether it's a Karen trying to police us themselves, even though they're not the police, or it's somebody who just wants to uphold their tradition, what they view as their traditions, held probably in their views of the Confederacy. Slaves in this country were indentured, and I repeat that, indentured. What that means is that they were ripped out of their homeland and brought here to build this country on their labor and their backs. If people don't understand that, then they need to start reading some more. We are living in a culture where I shouldn't have to, in 2020, worry about my kid driving around and possibly getting pulled over or getting harassed because of the color of their skin. That shouldn't happen at all. We are a nation that is multicultural. It was built on immigrants building this country. I want to end this with how it is that we are viewed and how we are struggling to understand the concept of what it is to be Black in America, or minority, or brown, any minority basically that is oppressed. If you are not angry, you should be. If you are not sad, you should be. If you are not tired, you should be. If you are not scared, you should be. If you can't breathe, what's the alternative? What's the lesson that's learned here? The struggle needs to continue. My final thoughts.
All right. Thank you, Rory. So we had a supercharged episode here, and we hope you enjoyed our episode. Please support us by subscribing and downloading this episode on all platforms. Also, subscribe to our Lessons Learned, No Guarantees YouTube channel and connect with us on social media. If you want to be a part of our show or have topic suggestions or even opinions, email us at info@lessonslearnednoguarantees.com. See ya.
You have been listening to Lessons Learned, No Guarantees podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, don't be selfish. Share it with a friend. Never miss an episode and subscribe on Apple Podcast or whatever platform you use. Please rate, review, and find us on YouTube and social media. We're out.